comes from in adulthood, from relationships, from being seen, being abused, being traumatized. And then eventually I found happiness and I had to learn how to deal with grief. Because so often we do the studies and we take that knowledge and we put it aside because we don't immediately use it or need it.
Emotional abuse, that's the worst abuse ever. Because
Absolutely.
that one stick with you. It doesn't just get in your bag, but it gets straight in your bone marrow and stay with you for the longest time ever.
It's about choices. Am I going to be depressed? Am I going to be happy? I choose happiness because if you choose depression, you actually push down your happiness.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo. Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.
And thank you again for joining us today. My name is Munya Dango, and you are joining us again. Amazing, Inspired to Inspire show, where we bring you people that are going to inspire you, that are going to challenge you, people that are going to actually help you to take your life to the next level. As you know that each and every day, if you find yourself needing that one dose of inspiration, then you are at the right place. So, and today I have a wonderful guest. Okay. Some time back, to some of you who might actually know, you know that I've been volunteering to work on other people's events, not because really I wanted to or I wanted to actually work for somebody, but because I wanted to know what's on the background, like what is it that I actually do. Little did I know that I was going to meet this wonderful friend, like this wonderful human being who just became one of my friends, like long time friend, you know, as we go. And then, I asked her, "Hi, Diana, what exactly do you do?" She's like, "I'm a laughter coach." I'm like, "Laughter coach? Do you help people to laugh? Or like, what is that?" She's like, "Well, I help people deal with their issues through laughing." I'm like, "Interesting. Tell me how." Then she started to do quite a lot of stuff. She even spoke on my events. We even did like some amazing online webinars with. And I can't like this has been like overdue. You know, this has been an overdue webinar. So I'm so glad and I'm so grateful to introduce you guys to my dear friend Diana. Diana, how are you?
Munya, I am amazing. Thank you very much and thank you for having me.
I'm so excited, Diana. We've been there. We have known each other for a long time. I still believe that if I can still remember, I think that was like the time I was still kind of like starting, right? But by the time we actually met, and well, I didn't have this big name, but you could see like, okay, this young boy have this drive. He's trying to grow. He's trying to do this and all those other things. And let me tell you one thing before we even go any further. I just want to say that I'm so grateful to have you in my life. You've been there, and you might not actually know that most of the time I look at you and really get motivated and really get inspired, because one thing that I live by is that I just don't want to remain the same person, especially when I have people like powerful people like you in my life. I always want you to look at me and be like, this boy is growing, you know, and I think I've done that. I think I have done that.
And Munya, I must say, in the same way, so look up to you because you inspire me. So yes, we can inspire each other and look up to each other and know that we both are growing. We are not stagnant in this turmoil of a life that we've been thrown into. We are moving forward and bringing joy and happiness to so many people.
You know, I'm so grateful. So let's dive into this. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Who is Diana really? Like, who is Diana?
Well, my basic background is I've come from in adulthood, from relationships, from not being seen, being abused, being traumatized. And then eventually I found happiness and I had to learn how to deal with grief. And I didn't know how to do all of these things. But then one day I woke up and I remembered, but wait, you have done a course to become a laughter coach. Because so often we do the studies and we take that knowledge and we put it aside because we don't immediately use it or need it. And then I thought, laughter has so many benefits. And I picked out all my laughter information and it brought joy back to my life because now I can look at myself and others and not laugh at people, but laugh with people. And we can just spread joy across the globe.
Wow. Wow. And Diana, talk to me here. You say that you felt like you were not being seen. What does that mean, really? Not being seen by who and why are you supposed to be seen? Like, what's really going on here?
It's not acknowledged for the person who I am now. Because I believe this person that you see now is the real me. I was in a relationship where I had to change to make sure the other person was a happy person, no matter if I was happy or not. I just did not count. I was insignificant. And eventually, after dealing with all the stuff and the grief and everything, when I found myself, I realized that now I am allowing myself to be seen as well, because when you're being abused, you also don't want people to see you. You shy away from the world. So yes, so I was not seen, and now I've dealt with all the pain, the trauma, the grief, everything. Ta-da! Here I am.
Here you are. Ta-da! I love that. I love that. So Diana, talk to me here. When you say that you were abused, what kind of abuse are we talking about here?
Abuse, emotional abuse, which takes a very long time to heal. And then there was sexual abuse as well. And this was all done by the person that I believed was there to protect me. And I couldn't even protect myself. So and that carried on for a long, long time. But eventually I was able to break free from it.
Lovely. And you spoke about emotional abuse. Well, a lot of people really don't know that emotional abuse, that's the worst abuse ever. Because
Absolutely.
that one stick with you. It doesn't just get in your bag, but it gets straight in your bone marrow and stay with you for the longest time ever. And as you grow, you won't really see anything as anything anymore, because those voices will keep on playing and playing and playing in your head. Because it is bad to be physically abused. But you can beat me right now. I may get some bruises. Let's say I don't get scars, but the bruise is gonna heal and go. But this emotion, you were like right in there. So talk to me here. How often do people emotionally abuse other people, not knowing that they're actually emotionally abusing somebody? Do you think that is possible for people to abuse somebody emotionally without knowing?
Munya, yes it is, because we don't know what's going on in the other person's mind. And I'm going to use you as an example now. You wore your black shirt today thinking like, wow, this is the shirt I need to wear today. I feel good in it. And then I come along and I'm like, yo, did you see Munya's shirt? It's not the most flattering shirt. And now I've said that, you've overheard that. Now next week you want to wear the same shirt again, and you're like,
it's not gonna
okay,
work.
but now I have to think about it twice, because now somebody without thinking has said this is not a good shirt for me, so I have to change it. But this is the only clean shirt in my cupboard, so how am I going to work? And you start going into panic mode because you don't know how to deal with the situation. And sometimes I'm going to say this is something that seriously happened to me. The abused relationship. I was very skinny, and I was on numerous occasions told how fat I was. And then I would wear a nice outfit, and somebody would compliment me on my looks. And because of the abuse that I was receiving at home and the constant being told that I'm overweight and I'm fat, and then I didn't believe the people, because I also believe now they are trying to make fun of me. And they weren't. They generally meant I looked good, but I didn't see it that way. And I must tell you, this is now, I'm talking about 30 years ago, when I went through all of this abuse. Well, that's basically when the abuse started, halfway through my abuse. But it was something that still stuck in me. Yes, I've dealt with a lot of stuff, but if somebody would say something like, wow, you look good today, then immediately my mind says like, oh, they're playing with your mind. And then I have to flip it back again and say, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I have to start believing in myself again. But if you don't know what's going on in my mind, then it's like, why does she think I offended her? I didn't try to offend her. I was just giving her a compliment. And that's the bad part about emotional abuse, because nobody can see it. Like you said, a bruise, others can also see the bruise. Okay, when you're abused, you actually hide the bruises. But when you have a bruise, others can see a bruise. But emotional damage, nobody can see. And you are the only one that knows about what you are feeling, what you've been through, and the emotions that you are dealing with that are attached to that.
Catch this. The BNC Mobi app is your one-stop solution for all things BNC. This sleek, user-friendly application is your gateway to a world of services, products, and online courses. No more clunky web pages or tedious searches. With BNC Mobi, it's all at your fingertips. Imagine booking a session with Mr. Dongo without breaking a sweat, or accessing your BNC SuccessFlix offers with just a swipe. It's not a dream, it's BNC Mobi. And where can you find this wonder? Google Play, App Store, and App Gallery. Just grab your mobile device, search for BNC Mobi, and tap Install. It's that simple. So why wait? Dive into the world of BNC Mobi and discover the convenience of having BNC at your fingertips. It's time to redefine your BNC experience with BNC Mobi. Get it now.
Also, sometimes as well, you know, Diana, we may go through that. I know that this is wrong, or I have faced this emotional abuse, but sometimes we don't even know that we are suffering from the emotional abuse that we suffered with 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. We might not even know that as well. So it then brought me to this other question of, so how would that affect somebody from living their full potential? Be it they were emotionally abused. We're also going to talk about dealing with the grief as well. But this emotional damage, it is one big thing that I think is to affect people today. So how would that affect somebody from living their own life, like from actually living their full potential? How would that affect them?
Munya, yes, it's very true. Sometimes we don't even realize, because it might not come across through words. It might just be some way that somebody has treated you, and all of a sudden you land up in a situation that was never spoken about before, but now you land up in a situation where somebody treats you in a similar way, and you go into fright mode and you think like, what's going on? Where did this come from?
Your triggers.
And it's like, because you have no idea what caused this. Sometimes you might see somebody walking down the street, and for no reason, you just have absolute fear of this person. You don't know this guy or woman from a bar or so. All of a sudden, it's just like, but when you really go delve deep, you will find out that maybe when you were 5 or 6 or 7 years old, or maybe even later in life, you came across a person that had a similar look, had a similar voice, same age. So those are all little triggers, but it affects the mind in such a way that you don't know how to deal with it. And here you are.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I so scared of this? And yeah, but it's the stuff that had been put in the back of our minds because at the time you don't want to deal with it. So you're just like, I'll just ignore it. And by ignoring it, you say, put it in this filing cabinet right at the back here. And then sometimes something bumps that filing cabinet, the drawer goes open and kata. There is the memory back, and all of a sudden you have to deal with it. And it's like, yeah, it's scary when you go through stuff like that, when you don't know where the fear comes from.
Where it's coming from. Yeah. So how did you deal with that? Like, how did you overcome that? Because now, we're going to really dive deep as to who you are right now and what you are doing right now.
Okay.
Because actually, what you are doing right now and what you went through back then,
yes,
it's like opposite world. You were supposed to still be this damaged good somebody, like who is like west of the west. But look at you right now. You are the best of the best. You are thriving. You are moving like crazy. So how did you deal with that?
I took off my cloak of being a victim because for so long, because I was, like I said, not seen, I wasn't respected.
Yeah.
I became a victim. Sorry for myself. Poor me. Oh, what is the world coming to? So I traveled through my life in victim mode. I never had the knowledge that I have now about how we manifest everything that's going to happen in our lives. So what I would do is I would be driving home from work in the afternoon and immediately my mind would go like, is he going to be in a bad mood again today? What's going to happen tonight? What abuse am I going to go through tonight? I did not realize that I started manifesting all of that. Then eventually, thank goodness, I caught him cheating on me and I had a reason to get him out of my life. Because all the reasons that I had before were valid reasons, but it wasn't strong enough where I could pinpoint them on him and say, there's the door. And then when I caught him with another woman, I could say, there's the door, out you go. But I was still thinking like, okay, I will one day, he'll come back, he'll change, because
maybe
that's
he's
what
going to change.
Yeah, yes, I wanted to believe that he was going to change. But they never change. It's been going on for so many years. Why would I ever have thought that it would change? It never changed. But I sat and I waited and waited and waited because maybe one day he's going to come back. And then I went to a birthday party and I met a man there. I wasn't going out to meet somebody. And this man walked into my life and he really made me feel seen, appreciated, acknowledged. It was just like such an amazing relationship that we had. And yes, then I expressed to him everything that I had been through, the abuse, the trauma, everything. I've explained it to him. And he accepted me as a broken person. And he said to me, together we will work on it and we will heal you.
Wow.
He held my hand through thick and thin, and yeah, we spent many happy years together. We didn't have our arguments. We were human beings after all. But in general, it was just like we were two peas in a pod. We understood each other completely. And then after being together for about 18 and a half years, one day I arrived home to find that he had taken his own life. Because that was a new story for me to deal with, because now I've just found happiness. He helped me overcome everything. He even made me strong enough and believe in myself enough that I could face in person the abuser. So because I was like, do this, he's going to be there, I can't do this. And he said to me, babes, I'm going to be by your side. I will hold your hand. I've got your back. And then he passed away. And I was like, wow, who's going to have my back now? And that's when I felt, Sorry.
I was saying, and how did you deal with that?
Well, Munya, his last words to me were, please forgive me. He did leave me a note and he said, please forgive me.
Yeah.
And on that night, I sat next to his body and I said to him, I forgive you. Because holding a grudge is not going to bring me joy. It's actually going to
not.
manifest illness in my body. And
That's true.
I can't deal with that. I have to focus on my own life. Yes, of course I want him here. Yes, I wanted him by my side until we were very old and grey. But it didn't happen. But I also know today, if I was still with him, I would also not be the person I am today. Because I believe that the grief that I had to deal with, the huge loss I had to deal with, is part of my journey. And it helped me become who I am today. Because now if somebody needs assistance with grief, I can also help them with that because I understand it. And it's not like I laugh it all away and ignore it. No, I've been through all the ups and downs. I've dealt with those emotions. And yes, some days the emotion still comes back. It's not something where there's an on-off switch. But I know for me that my journey has not ended and I am here. And I love where you say inspired to inspire, because on my forearm here, I've got a tattoo and it says aspire to inspire before you expire. You see?
Oh my goodness, I love that. You say it again.
And that's what I do. I aspire to inspire. That's what I have to do. And that, Munya, that's why we've got such a connection, because we speak the same language.
I love that. So, quick question, Diana. If you were to do it all over again,
yes,
I heard you saying that I am who I am today because of what I went through, right?
Right.
You were to just look back. Would you have taken anything out of that story, the story of Diana, and still be who you are right now, this strong woman that we have right now?
I don't think I would have been able to be who I am today if I did not go through whatever I have been through, because that has taught me to be resilient.
Yeah.
It might have taken a long time. It might have taken years for me to become resilient. But it was part of the process. I needed to understand when you're in a relationship with a narcissist that it's not easy to get out of it. Because so many times when people are in relationships that are abusive and narcissistic, when we're on the outside, and believe me, I was that hypocrite that also said that even though I was in a relationship like that, if I knew you were in a relationship like that, I would say, Munya, why don't you just get out? But it's not that easy to get out because you get so manipulated. But because I understand it now, if somebody goes through something like that, I can have a conversation. I understand what they're dealing with. I understand why it's not like, okay, I pack my bags and I walk out the door. So,
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. I had many bruises to show for it. And you know what, without that, I would not have been able to empathize with anybody. I would have lost this part of me because it would not have been needed.
So, like what Tony Robbins always say, that life does not happen to us, life happens for us. That is a perfect quote for that. Wow, I love that, Diana. So all this abuse, grief, losing your loved one, and all these other things, among us, every other problem again that you have been through.
And there were plenty.
And there are plenty to actually, if you really didn't know, well, we could have a 4-hour conversation with Diana and still grab a lot of lessons out of that. Because because actually I really want to quickly go to your laughter coaching. Like, so having been through all these things,
Yes.
how do you still find your laughter? Like, how do you still find joy amongst all these other things? Because really, we don't laugh by, I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna laugh. No, we don't do that, right? You have to find something that is laughable and then just laugh it. Or look at your life or just laugh. I don't know. Like, how did you deal with, like, how did you become all this?
Well, Munya, I must tell you, I was on a workshop one day and we had to log in a goal for that year. And I logged in. I wanted to know, I want to find out what it is that I really want to do, because I knew that I did not want to stay in corporate for the rest of my life. And the next morning, out of the blue, I received an email and it said, "Are you interested in becoming a laughter coach?" And I'm like, this is my answer. So I did the course. And like I said, I put it aside. One day I'll use it. And I continued with my life. And then I went through the part of the grief after Vic had passed away. And then it's like, okay, let me open the drawer. Let's take out the information there. And I started looking at my laughter exercises. And yes, with laughter coaching, we don't go look for a reason. We just have a reason to laugh. Why do I want to laugh? Because I am depressed today. So, okay. And immediately when you acknowledge that you are feeling depressed, that's a huge step already, because most people, when they're feeling down and depressed, they don't want to acknowledge it to themselves. They feel it within themselves because they become grumpy. And nobody should even look at them, but it's their own stuff. It's not anybody else's stuff. But if you acknowledge, I am depressed. Okay, what am I going to do about the depression? I'm going to laugh at it. So just laugh at it. And that laughter does not even have to be a real laughter. As you have noticed from my laughing now, I have done a fake laugh. But what it did immediately, when you you make the sound of laughter, it brings a smile to your face, and that already awakens the endorphins, the feel-good chemical in your body, and your whole body just starts relaxing. Grief, for instance, is a very serious issue. For me, after Vic's passing, I didn't know how long it should take me before I could smile again, before I could laugh again, because it's like I'm actually supposed to be sad now. Yes, I was sad, but I am still a human being with emotion. So slowly but surely, I started smiling at myself in the mirror. And then, because I didn't want people to hear me laughing because I'm going through grief, I would stand in front of the mirror and I would do silent laughter. So I would just go like, and I would just stand there for a while and do the silent laughter until I felt strong enough and good enough again to walk out of my room and just face the world. And so many people have said to me so many times, wow, you are so strong. You are absolutely amazing. Don't believe you can deal with it so quickly. No, it didn't take me that quickly to deal with it. But the tools that I've used helped me to show the world a different person. And in its own way, it healed me as well, because I keep on feeding it the feel-good endorphins. So, yeah, I could sit there, I could go wear black for the rest of my life, and I could go sit in the corner and be miserable. But I don't believe that is my plan for my journey on this part of my lifetime.
Are you an author, coach, or entrepreneur struggling to reach that six-figure milestone? Do you feel stuck, unsure of what strategies will help you build, restructure, and scale your business? Well, I'm here to help you transform your business. I offer a 45-minute free coaching session designed specifically for people like you, driven professionals who are ready to take their business to the next level but need a little guidance to get there. Just imagine having a clear roadmap tailored to your unique business needs.
In our 45-minute session, we'll cover 1, identifying key challenges. We'll pinpoint the specific obstacles holding you back. 2, crafting a personalized strategy. Together, we'll develop a step-by-step plan to build, restructure, and scale your business. And 3, implementing proven techniques. You'll learn effective methods to attract more clients, increase sales, and ultimately achieve your 6-figure income goal. Don't just take my word for it. Here is what some of my clients have to say.
I just want to let you know that I start to collaborate.
This free coaching session will provide you with the clarity and direction you need. No fluff, no empty promises, just practical, actionable advice. So if you're ready to turn your business dreams into reality, click the link below to apply for your free 45-minute business coaching session with me. Spots are limited, so don't miss out on this opportunity to fast-track your success. Apply now and let's make your 6-figure business a reality. I can't wait to help you succeed.
Wow. I still remember at the No Excuse GrowthCon, you were like, I want you to look outside and you see, oh no, did you say you see a bird? Or imagine you are a bird and you are trying to land on a tree, on this branch, and then the moment that you are gonna land there, you see that, oh my goodness, this branch is broken, and then boom, it just fell down. Now you are flying again.
Yeah.
I love that. Laughing at that every time I look at you, every time that I see your message, I'm like, Diana, really? Like, really? Of all the things. But guess what? It then triggered to me that other time. Every time that I see either your Facebook post or your WhatsApp message or your status, whatever, I ask myself, when last did I really genuinely laugh?
But when did you really laugh?
If I haven't, I then go either on Facebook or somewhere to either look for a reel or just look at my life right now and be like, Munya, you are screwed up. This is a mess. And then I just laugh. Oh my goodness. Munya, how am I going to get out of this? And then I just laugh. Look, you just signed another client. And then I just go and laugh about it. Something like that. And it really helped me to also deal with my own emotional damage as well that happened when I was still very young. You know the story. Yes. And all those other things. Yeah. So I really find your teaching very much useful. And how can this information help somebody who is an entrepreneur? I know that it's tough to be an entrepreneur in 2024 and beyond, where everything is just expensive, and rentals, internet, like everything is just skyrocket. So how can somebody use some of these tools that you're currently having right now to help themselves? Let's say they're just walking out of a deal that was supposed to be the best deal ever, and they just got their no. Or this other client was supposed to actually pay at 2 a.m. and right now it's 5 days later. This client is still not yet paying, yet you have done the job. Or whatever. We all have these other situations. Oh, well, it is month end and your rentals is not renting, the rent is not renting itself, or salaries are not happening. Like, we find ourselves in these situations that we really don't want to find ourselves into ever. Like, so how can I still find joy, or how can I still find time to laugh in the midst of all these crises that we're having each and every day? Is that even possible for somebody in 2024?
Yes, it is absolutely possible. It's about choices. Am I going to be depressed? Am I going to be happy? I choose happiness, because if you choose depression, you actually push down your happiness. When you choose happiness, you press down your depression. And
can I have both of them? Can I have both of them at the same time?
No, you can't be depressed and feel happy at the same time. Depression is a very strong emotion, and it will make you angry and negative. Happiness, on the other hand, is also a very strong emotion. And that might make you feel lighter and more positive. And you can see things from a completely different perspective than when you are feeling depressed. When you're depressed, nothing goes wrong. I'm right. But when you're happy, it's like anything and everything that happens seems to be the right thing that needed to happen at that time. And it's so easy to make yourself happy. So often we would get people to say, wow, Diana, you need to watch this video. It was hilarious. I watched the video and I'm like, where's the funny part of it? Because we've all got different senses of humor. We are different people.
Yeah.
So what's funny to one person is not necessarily funny to another person. But
That's true.
with laughing for no reason whatsoever, you don't need humor. So you don't even have to look for something funny to happen or something to make you happy. You have that laughter within yourself. So all you have to do is go stand in front of the mirror if you haven't got anybody else there. This is a beautiful exercise though. If you do have somebody that is there with you, I can say to you, Munya, can we just please stand face to face? I just want to do an exercise with you. And then we look each other straight in the eye and we still keep eye contact, but we still just, we then just start laughing. And immediately I connect with you, you connect with me, and we share this laughter. And also because laughter is a universal language. You don't need to speak Mandarin or French or something to understand the joy that laughter actually brings. Because it's just like everybody understands laughter. And even if you go out and you start laughing out loud, you're going to draw attention. Yes, people might frown at you, but it brings happiness. And if you continue with the laughter, it's eventually going to bring a smile to their face as well.
Wow. Well, so you just reminded me of two things from the program that both of us have gone through with our amazing Robin Banks. So two of them is that every time he speaks about who's got the power, he used to go on stage dragging chairs every time and say, you have your bastard husband or your bastard ex, your mother-in-law, your problems, your whatever, and you are still dragging it all like everywhere with you. You are the one who is dragging these things with you. But if you just open your hand and let it go, then you can move. You are free. Like you see that, my goodness, I'm a free bird. And then he also said, who's got your keys? Who are you giving your keys to? Do you still hold the keys to yourself? So with this training, with this laughter, you are like, this is how I'm actually saying it, okay? I am carrying all this heavy load every time. I have all this heavy load. It's a heavy burden. And then the moment I remind to laugh, I'll be like, why do I have it in my hands? And why do I have it? Oh, let me put it aside. And then I laugh. But most people, they then go back and pick it up and go again with it, and go again with it. Then remember to laugh, and then they put it aside like, ha, 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 ha. What? Yeah, I'm free, but okay, let's go and pick that. So how often does that happen in our day-to-day life? How often do we go back and look at our mess and pick it up again and drag it? It's not that the mess is holding on to us. It's us who is holding on to it. How often do we do that in our day-to-day lives?
All day, every day. Because we are creatures of habit. And all of a sudden, now you've taken something, you've put it down. So there is like, I'm going to call it a gaping hole. And you think like, what am I going to do with this hole? Oh, I don't know. Let me put all the stuff back. And I must tell you, Munya, what helped a lot for me as well was Vic's last words, which said, please forgive me. Because he has reminded me that forgiveness is not just limited to him, but what about everybody else that has hurt or harmed me during my lifetime? What about those that actually didn't even mean to hurt me, but I felt offended? What about me? I had to forgive myself for so many things. So
Wow.
if you pick up that bag again, put it back down again and forgive yourself for picking it up again. Because when you create that hole, that gaping hole, you are actually making space for something new to come in. If you don't put down the baggage, you don't have enough space to grow. You're going to stay stuck.
Wow. And if you keep on putting it back and putting it back, well, this is not just a one-day thing of, I'm done. I watched this podcast with Munya and Diana. I'm done. I'm good. Then that's it. Well, you may find yourself going back and pick it up each and every time. But if you keep on doing that, well, you will become a little bit loose and loose and loose and loose and loose. And before you know it, you'll be like, well, it's gone. It's gone. Just like right now, you can now speak about all these problems as if it's just another story. But if it was 10 years back or 5 years back, you may start crying or start being so much emotional because you hadn't dealt with those things. Oh my goodness. Diana, you are such a blessing to us today, and thank you so much for this. Before I let you go, what can you say to other people out there who might be wherever they are? Like, what are some of your parting words?
You know what? It doesn't matter what the world around you is like. Find the joy and happiness within yourself and make your life the best it could be. You are not in control of anybody else's lives, only your own. And you cannot base your happiness, if you look at, base it on somebody else's happiness, because it's all in your heart. It's your thoughts. We are all unique. We all think differently. We all act differently. Go out and show the world who you really are. Don't let them change you to be who they want you to be, but be your true, authentic self.
Wow, that's a big bomb and a big ouch. Diana, you are such a blessing to us. I'm gonna be advising you, to all of you who are actually watching, please do follow Diana on Instagram, on Facebook. She does share some nice things as well. Go there and always learn about her. You may also see her next laughter coaching program that she is actually gonna bring in, or some of her free laughter coaching session that you could also join there and just go and find joy. Because what are we here for? We are here to be inspired, to inspire. And I hope today you learned a lot, and not just learning, but you were inspired by Diana so that you can go and inspire other people. That is the main goal. You don't just come here and watch it, but you need to also go and do the same to others. Thank you so much, Diana. I really appreciate you having creating time for me, and thank you. I love you a lot. Please don't stop being this shining star, like this great spirit, this great human being that you are.
Munya, thank you for having me. I love you. I appreciate you, and you inspire me.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Mr. M Dongo.
Mr. Dongo. Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Jungo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.